Okay, everybody, first off, thank you guys for being here at the banquet tonight. You guys that most of our students are coming back. We only have 6 graduating seniors. This is the first time the school year's changed a little bit. We would normally have started school yesterday, and we usually do the banquet the Thursday of the first week of school. It got backed up a week, but we wanted to go ahead and do it because if we push the banquet back to next week, we've got some of the seniors going to be going ahead. We've got a couple that have already gone to college, so in the idea of having a banquet that our seniors could attend, we had it this week. We've got some people at the beach. We knew that was going to happen, going on trips, lake, whatever. But you guys that are here in town, thank you for being here. I wanted to go ahead and get started at 6 o'clock. We've got 3 great teams that have very successful seasons that we want to honor and honor correctly tonight. But we also want to be respectful of people's time. So our plan is to eat from 6 to 6:45 and then do our awards from 6:45 to 7:30 and get back home. Everybody have a good Thursday night. A couple of housekeeping items because of so many people here, there, and everywhere. Stan sent out, someone sent out a message. If you will find a team mom, okay, Amy, or Shauna, and just give them $10 for dinner if you feel led to, that'd be great. If not, we're not going to chase you down, okay? But we don't have anybody up front taking money. That's just, Stan told me that's how we're going to do it, so that's how we'll do it, if you don't mind, please. Again, I'm not going to call people tomorrow and be like, you didn't pay for the banquet. Enjoy a meal on the Dugout Club if you didn't bring money or whatever. Don't make that a big deal. I do ask, we need 3, at least 3, maybe 4 mamas, if you don't mind helping once we start eating, just to keep we're going to go through and serve ourselves, but just kind of keep everything stocked back there. We just need about 3 people to help, 4 at the most, just to kind of keep the lines going smoothly back there. Whoever wants to do it, jump up there and help, please, and thank you. I'm going to bring up Mr. Don Startup. Y'all know Don here from Tabernacle Baptist Church. He is going to bless the food, bless the dinner, and after that, players feel free to go eat, and coaches feel free to go eat, and then so we can do the award show and get this, like I said, the show on the road. Parents, if you don't mind, let the players and the coaches go first. Coach, you get up here and eat, and we get up here and talk, and if we need to, while you're still eating, we'll give out our awards. Without further ado, here's Mr. Pops.
Hey, we're really glad to have you young guys and your families here at Tabernacle. It's our pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for coming. Father, we want to come to you tonight and tell you that we love you. We're going to tell you we're grateful for these guys and their families, for these coaches and their families, Lord, for the team that you've put together here in Cartersville High School baseball. Lord, what a joy it is to be a part of this family. Lord, I pray that you bless the food tonight and to our bodies so we can continue to serve you well. And we just thank you for the great grace you've shown us in your Son, Jesus Christ. And it's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Paul. Awards at 6:45. And here we go. First, as always, I just want to thank Scott's. Thank you, Mr. Steve, for helping get this set up. Scott's Barbecue for catering the meal tonight. Always love eating Scott's. I also want to thank our Dugout Club officers for everything they did. We've got a couple here, got a couple, like I said, that are off doing other things. Shelly Carver, Cindy Bonner, Jeff Shrewsbury, Stan Bradley, just thank you to them. Obviously, parents, you have a lot of interaction with them, but man, the work that they do is thankless. It really is, but it's so helpful. It's so helpful. It allows the coaches to really focus on pouring into these young men and doing everything we can to give them a chance to be successful, and I really, really appreciate that. I also want to thank, I don't want to say one name because inevitably I'll leave somebody out, but moms, dads, you brought snacks. You went and got snacks. You varsity parents that went and picked up Jimmy John's and sat at Jimmy John's at 2:30 and 3:30 for all these doubleheaders we played. All the meals, all the food after the games, everything that these boys, they like to eat. And baseball, it's a tough deal because, we're jumping on buses at 3 or 3:30 at 4 o'clock after school. They haven't had lunch, some of them, till, since 11:45 that morning. They're going to go play a game. Baseball game lasts till 8:30 at night, and a snack and a dinner. So thank you. That is not lost on us. I appreciate that very much. We kind of got a good system going with the varsity team. I think we played 37 games last year, and 20 of them were parts of the doubleheaders, and we had 10 doubleheaders. And the boys, they like the Jimmy Johns, and that's kind of our go-to meal, but it doesn't just show up. So thank you guys for going to get it, keeping it in coolers, and I promise you that's important and helped play a role in our success last year. So thank you very much. I'm going to give a shout out to one young man before we get started. He's going to get his name called in a minute, but Gabriel Cox. I'm going to say thank you to Gabriel. Gabriel worked with our JV team as a student assistant and doing everything that Coach Gochi could need under the sun. Practice, and he'd jump in and practice. He'd run scoreboard. He can do everything. Called on Gabriel a couple times, like day of. Gabriel, we don't have anybody to film. We don't have anybody to run the scoreboard. We don't have anybody to do the music. We don't, whatever. Coach, I'll be there. Gabriel, I'd like you to be there at 3:45. And at 3:25, here, Coach, ready to go. And that's awesome. So I thank you, Gabriel, man. That doesn't go, unnoticed by me. I appreciate that very much. Mr. Steve Kennedy and Don Startup, you guys see them, know them. They don't have anyone in the program. They just love Cartersville baseball and have been around Cartersville baseball for a long time. They do a great job in the press box. I don't know if y'all can hear it in the stands. I can hear it in the third base coach's box. Sometimes they forget to turn the microphone off, and I'm over there going, the umpire can hear what you're saying. But they're awesome. And Mr. Startup, both of them, for helping get this set up. I rolled up here about 5 o'clock this afternoon, and boxes and awards and stuff. Just, it wasn't a lot. It wasn't difficult to bring in at all. But Mr. Steve, what can I get? What can I get? Can I go out there? And I was like, I got these jerseys. You want these jerseys hung? Yes, sir. And no sooner did I go on in my car, the jerseys are hung. I was like, I got this banner. I don't really know how we're going to do it. And he did it. Georgia Tech guy, they're smart. And so thank you, Mr. Steve. So thank you to them. Again, let me thank our coaches up here. Guys, we got, every coach gets up and says it, I mean it. We got the best coaching staff in the state of Georgia. You can look on the back of the program and look at some of our on-field accomplishments, okay? And yes, coaches don't play in the game, the players do, and that's why we're here. We're here to celebrate those players. But we've got coaches that genuinely care about these young men. These guys have all had success as players, as coaches themselves, and it runs so smoothly. And what we do at the varsity level is done at the JV, is done at 9th grade. All right, we're all the same. We may have a different sign or whatever, but philosophically it's the same. And so as young men grow and progress throughout the program, they can hit the ground running as they advance to the next team. And I'm just so very thankful for them, and just thankful to have these guys back. I'm going to introduce them real quick. Right here we got Mr. Luke Daniel. Luke wants to, if y'all give Luke a round of applause real quick. A lot of you know Luke. Luke's Cartersville grad, Cartersville player, outstanding high school career, college career at Reinhardt, and working here in town. And he just enjoys coming out and giving his time during the baseball season. When it's probably easy after selling insurance from 9 to 5 to go home, when it's 38 degrees and we got to practice in February. But he loves it, and just thankful to have him with us. Next, we got Brian Adams. If I can put that in. This is everything you need to know about Coach Adams. We had a youth camp this summer, and a lot of our players worked it. It was awesome. Had about 45 of the youth of Cartersville at camp. And the first day, there were about 3 6 or 7-year-olds that were unsure about leaving Mama for the whole morning. It's hot, and I don't really know, Mom, I don't know these people. I don't know that guy in that purple hat. Who's he? And I kind of looked down at one of them and said, Coach Adams is here. Bye, Mom. And once they knew Coach Adams was here, it was like they were good to go. And that comes from their relationship they have with him as a teacher down there at the primary school. He's been around Cartersville baseball. Heck, we were trying to count. We can't figure it out. 15, 16 years. But just a baseball guy. He was a great player himself. Played at West Georgia, coached at West Georgia, and he just loves the young men and pours into them. And I don't know how many throws he's got in that arm, but he's thrown a lot. He will throw BP and throw BP and throw BP. Yeah, you good? Good. You good? Good. So very thankful to have Coach Adams. The next guy, Coach Jojo Underwood. Very thankful to have JoJo back. Finally, we got to have his first full season. JoJo had a great high school career, won a state championship as a player at Cartersville, and went on to and made it up, played at UNC Greensboro, Got to be under the head coach, a guy named Lincoln Jarrett. He is now the head coach at Notre Dame. Just won the National College Coach of the Year. So Jojo got to learn from him and try to implement a lot of his offensive strategies into our team. But Jojo had been trying to come back. As soon as he left UNC Greensboro, he's texting me, hey man, how do I get there? How do I get there? Spent a couple years at Villarica and got him back and excited to go. And then COVID season hit, but got a full season with Coach Underwood, and thankful to have him back. Next got Coach Asa Williams. Just without a doubt, one of the best young pitching minds, not just in the state of Georgia, but in the country. Knows what he's doing, very cerebral with everything he does. Our pitchers, their arms are taken care of. There's a plan. He'll hand it to me. If it's February the 1st, he'll hand me the plan for the month of February. We're going to pitch this guy in this game. He's going to throw this many innings. He's going to do recovery this day. He's going to practice this day, throw a bullpen. And I love that, and it's awesome. And then, of course, it rains and everything changes, but he just takes it all in stride. And our pitchers, they know him, love him, and our success is because of what we do on the mound. And that's what it starts with Asa Williams. Next guy, Coach Corey Gochi. Sad news and happy news. So we'll go sad news first is, selfishly for baseball, we're going to lose Coach Gochi as a baseball coach. But the happy news is it's because he has taken over as the strength coach for the entire high school. So every sport that we have over there, we're working with Coach Gochi in the weight room. He is full-time weight room. And because of that job, it does not enable him to come and coach baseball. Now, he doesn't know we're going to sneak him away sometimes in the spring and get him over there. The young men love him. They spend more time with any coach. They spend more time with him than any other coach because they're in the weight room with him every day of the school year. I try to get down there as much as I can in the fall. Once we start the season, I can't spend as much time in there. But the good thing is he'll still be doing our baseball weightlifting class. That'll not change. We just don't get to have him out on the field. And like I said, selfishly for the baseball program, it hurts us, but for the school and for the entire athletic program, it's awesome. And like I said, we're not losing him fully. Baseball guy, grew up in Florida, came up here to college and played locally and just well respected. You say his name, everybody knows Coach Gochi, loves Coach Gochi, and he did a great job. And he'll be up here in just a minute to talk. And his son, Alex. What's up, Alex? You want to wave to everybody? Future hurricane right there, and that's the first time I've ever seen him with hair. So, looks sharp, young fella. Looks sharp. All right, so here's how this is going to work. I'm going to introduce Coach Brandon. He is Coach Brandon that coached the freshman team. Did a great job, River Brandon. First year coaching in the program. Didn't really know him. Talked to him on the phone a few times. Like, hey, we need a freshman coach. You want to do it? I would love to do it. And man, he fit in so well. The young men loved him, and they had a great season. We're going to talk about that in just a second. He's coaching middle school softball, and I watched one of their practices the other day, and man, it is going. They are practicing. There's not a lot of wasted time, wasted movement. It's impressive to see. So they had a game tonight, their first middle school softball game. So he is there. Coach Mackey, Justin Mackey, that also helped coach the freshman team. Coach Mackey has taken a job at Woodland High School. We tried to get him here, it just didn't work out. Maybe one day in the future it can, but he's at Woodland. He's also doing softball, so they are at their previous engagements. So freshmen, all I'm going to do is introduce the freshman team. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you up. Turner, I'm going to tell you the first one in just a second. Turner, if you'll come stand right there. Just a minute, Turner, hold on. You're doing a good job, you're listening. We'll call your name formally in just a minute. First guy will stand there, and the next guy will stand beside him, and let's just make a line all the way over here towards Paul and Trey. Let's hold our applause till the end to get everybody introduced. I'm going to read off some things the freshman team did, and we can give all of them a round of applause at the end. That work? All right, this year's freshman team, Turner Abernathy, Dawson Bishop, Connor Brassfield, Corey Brookshire, Dustin Brookshire, Tay Cochran, Landon Cole, Caleb Freeman, Colin Genrich, Jackson Harwell, Nicholas Ruby, Hayden James, Ryan Johnson, Eli Jones, Luke Miller, Drew Perry, Davis Wilkie, Sawyer Wilson, student assistant Christian Thomas. Give all those guys a second to get up here. All right, so this group of young men right here, got to play 15 games. They had 21 scheduled, and the weather, a lot of times just didn't cooperate, and sometimes, unfortunately for them, they were rolling along, and I think they had 4 games in 1 week, 4 games scheduled, and I'm not kidding you, within 5 minutes of each other, we got a text that the 2 teams they were going to play that week had to shut down because of COVID. So they lost 4 games, like it was tough, and they were excited, they were winning. They finished with a 12-3 record, which is very impressive, especially with the schedule they played. They went over to Buford, handed the Buford freshman team their first loss of the season. Yeah, there we go. Went and beat Carrollton, and then we finally, they were supposed to play 3 games last week against Blessed Trinity, and again, rain wreaked havoc on everything. We finally got them a game scheduled at Lake Point at 7:30 at night, about 41 degrees and wind blowing, but they beat them 3-0. So they finished out on a high note with a 3-0 win over Blessed Trinity. Great group of young men, and obviously the future's bright. When you got 3 teams that had the success that our 3 had, hey, we're going to keep having success, keep having fun. Let's give this team one round of applause again. Okay, man, y'all can sit down. Good job, guys. I've never gone to the phone at the banquet, but I gotta find the stats from Coach Brandon. Okay. All right, our ninth grade awards. Okay. We're gonna start with the most valuable defensive player. This young man, this is coming from Coach Brandon, played the entire year and made no errors. That'll win you the Defensive Player of the Year award, won't it? Coach Brandon said this young man worked hard and earned his spot. He hit over 400 when he got into the game and was solid on defense, and he said made no errors. This year's 9th grade Defensive Player of the Year, Luke Miller. All right, yeah, young men, players, you're going to get an award. Coach Daniel's going to hand it to you.
Look at your mom and smile.
We're going to have a quick little moment where you can get right there and smile. There we go. If you get an award like Micah, I don't know, small chance you get an award tonight, just stand up front. It might be awkward. Hey, we got to learn being uncomfortable. People don't love public speaking. We got to learn to face our fears. Just stand up, hold your award, and then you can sit back down, okay? That work? All right. Next, we're going to go to the 9th grade most valuable pitcher. And this was a close race. This was a close race because there were 4 really, really good pitchers on the 9th grade team that put up really good numbers, but inevitably it had to come down to one guy winning the award. This young man threw 20 2/3 innings. He struck out 24, which is very impressive, had an ERA of 1.69 and a 220 opponent's batting average against him. This year's 9th grade pitcher of the year, Ryan Johnson. There we go, Ryan. Find your parents. There you go. Good job, Ryan. All right, then our 9th grade Offensive Player of the Year hit 452 on the year. That's pretty good, huh? On base percentage, this is my favorite stat. On base percentage of 575, that's unheard of. And a slugging of 548. So you watch these, I guess the stat, Coach Williams, what is it, OPS? Luke, OPS, isn't that the big stat now?
OPS over 1,000.
OPS over 1,000. I think 575 plus 548, wouldn't that put him over 1,100? Is that my math right? So over 1,100. It's pretty good.
That's really good.
It's real good. 9th grade Offensive Player of the Year, Lana Cole. All right, congratulations, freshman team. Let's keep it rolling and 3 more years with you guys. I'm going to let Coach Gochi come up and talk about the JV season.
All right, I'm going to start off like the same sequence. We're going to call your name, come up here and line up in front of the table here. But first, I want to thank Coach Daniel for helping out. And obviously, like Coach Thacker said, I mean, he could have very easily just, he works a full-time job, and this job can be, thankless at times. And he's got girls at home where he could just go home and spend time with him. And I know sometimes he would rather do that, I'm sure. And he selflessly came out and helped me, and I thank you. I couldn't do it without you. Appreciate it. All right, so starting with it, guys, when I call your name, just line up here at the table. Starting out, Bryce Craig, Jacob Evans, Jacob Ray, Bryce Richards, Case Adams, Trip Bradley, Jack Chapman, Harrison Childers, Colin Fletcher, Jeffrey Gore, Hunter Kelly, Grant Knight, Malachi Jeffries, Isaac McNair Siegler, Pierce Mullinax, Miles Owen, Gavin Shrewsbury, Caden Stevenson, Caleb Daniel, Gabe Cox, all right, so just some notes about our JV guys. Finished with 14-5. Very good year. I can remember a few highlights here. Obviously, beating a very good Ringgold team, pretty bad really early. I think we lost one more game after that, and then we rattled off, I think it was 11 games in a row. And I can remember sitting in Coach Tucker's classroom multiple times leading into that 2-week span, calling, talking to just about every coach up here, like, guys, you don't understand, I'm running with a JV team, and we're going to play these teams. It was 4 games in 5 days, skip a day, 4 games in 5 days, and I was panicking a little bit about pitching. Obviously, because there's, pitch limits and rest days required for their health, and just to be smart about it. And these guys showed up and battled. I think we won 11 games in a row. We beat a very good Villa Rica team, a Carrollton team, an Altoona team, and a River Ridge team. And most of those schools are bigger. Most of those schools are very talented baseball-wise. So beating all those within that span says a lot. I can remember a little bit later in that, we played Calhoun at home, a very tight game, 2-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. And Trip Bradley steps up and gets a base hit with, I can't remember who scored the run, but we win that game 3-2 on a walk-off, so that was huge for us. And then, putting it all together multiple times, all facets of the game, all 3 areas was what this team did, like night in and night out. We would hit well and blow out good teams early, especially when we played Altoona here. I mean, our coach was shocked, and he's trying to figure out how to beat us, and we're 2 innings in, and we've already scored 8 runs, and we're still tacking runs on a couple of their better arms. And then another highlight that stands out to me is the BT doubleheader at the end. We fell short in game 1, and then they decided to be disrespectful to us on the field in between games. And I put a stop to that real quick, and said, that's not going to happen on our field. Y'all can play that nonsense somewhere else. And then game 2, we took care of business real quick. So put your hands together for the JV team. All right, so the JV awards, starting off with the most valuable defensive player. This young man played multiple positions, always tried to lead on the field. I can remember one time we were at River Ridge. He calls timeout and goes out there, and this is not, Coach Daniel didn't tell him to do it. I didn't tell him to do it. He just called time and went to the mound, brought everybody in there and said, hey, let's go right now. Let's get this right. I think we had dropped a couple fly balls. We were up big, and it was like the focus just wasn't there for just a brief moment. And like I said, played very well, had the highest defensive fielding percentage for us, and just a leader on the field, verbally and physically. And our Defensive Player of the Year goes to Isaac McNair Siegler. All right, the next one is the most valuable pitcher. And just to piggyback the story that I just gave you with, I think it was like 11 games in 10 days. And, every time I would ask Coach Thacker, hey, can we have so-and-so? We have so-and-so. Yeah, you can have him, but you're only going to, I need him to only throw X number of innings, or he's supposed to throw for us, or he's supposed to play the outfield for us. I'd be trying to pull some of the 9th grade pitchers up from time to time. Like I just wasn't comfortable. I wanted more than I had. I wanted more than enough. I would rather be over prepared than barely or not prepared at all. And during that span, this young man, it seemed like every time he went to the mound when we needed him the most, he was very efficient, pitch to contact. A lot of the things that Asa and our whole pitching staff preaches, pitch to contact, first pitch strikes, on or off in 3 pitches. He was our poster child for that. But like I said, very efficient. There were a couple times he was barely over 70 pitches, into the 6th and even into the 7th inning a couple times. All right, our JV pitching MVP goes to Harrison Childers.
Such a big picture, man. Player. Throw that chat, man. That's right.
All right, the next one is our most valuable offensive player. And this, obviously, you look at all the offensive stats. This young man was, it took him a little bit to get started, but once he got started, it was insane how many hits he would get multiple game, or multiple at-bats, multiple hits every single game. And, in 19 games, his batting average, his on-base percentage, his OPS, all that, it just took off through the roof. And he was it seemed like he was never satisfied. He was always frustrated with, I need to hit it harder, I need to hit it further, I need to hit it more base hits, I need to hit it in the gap more. It seemed like constantly he's coming to me or Coach Daniel trying to figure out how he can get better. And I'm talking to Coach Daniel about his numbers, like, look at this kid's numbers. Why is he not happy? But because he was never satisfied, and that speaks a lot to who he is. Okay, our Offensive Player of the Year goes to Miles Owen.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, JV team. Like Coach Coacher said, another great year, and we're off 11 wins in a row, and a JV team is pretty impressive. All right, we're going to introduce the varsity team. We're going to do this a little differently. Varsity guys, we're going to show how old and mature you guys are and responsible, right? So I'm going to want y'all to line up. Kurt, we're going to line up in numerical order. So Kurt, you're going to line up over here.
Right now?
Go ahead, right now. That was a good question, Kurt. I didn't give you enough information to answer it. Who's next? Howard? Yep. All right. So let's line up numerical order all the way over here. Ryan and Caden and Luke. Can y'all do that, varsity guys? Can y'all line up? Y'all remember what number you were?
Come on, Mike.
Caleb Daniel, that would be you, buddy. There you go. Caleb, you remember what number you were?
15. This 24. 23.
I thought this would happen a little bit quicker. Oh my God.
Really don't.
There we go. Parents, I thought they all knew each other's numbers. Apparently not. Apparently not. I hear a lot. What number were you? All right, here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to go down the list real quick. I'm going to introduce everybody. But we as a coaches, we tell them all the time, we had 30 young men in uniform, and then we had 2 students help us out. They're part of the team too. We have 32 young men. It takes 32 to win. There's nobody in the history of baseball that's gone on the mound and struck everybody out without a catcher. Okay, because even if they could, on strike 3, that runner could run to first without a catcher. You understand what I'm saying? All right, you can only bat 1 every 9 times. It truly takes a team, and it takes all 32 to win. And this team played 37 games, and they won 27 of them. They did some things that have never been done in the school's history. They did some things to add on to the school's history. I don't have to get up here and tell you about the history of Cartersville baseball. Come to our field and look at our wall and see what the teams before them have done. And they understand that history and that tradition, okay? But they also were they worked hard to kind of put their own stamp on things, and I think that they did that real quick. But as I introduce them, I'm just going to give you a quick snippet of how all 32 of these guys helped us win games this year, okay? Kurt Bonner, he was our leadoff man. He DH, catch, scored a game-winner run, and got hurt, literally, for the team at Lake Point one day, okay? I can get up here and give you a number of his big hits. That's just one quick thing that Kurt Bonner did. He got knocked in that day by Hank Smith, number 2. All right, Hank also caught for us and played DH, and Hank got the game-winning hit at Decatur in Game 1. Next was Davis Williams. Davis started at second, started short, pitched for us. I got a little bit more about Davis and the impressive stuff he did for later tonight. But Davis helped us win in many ways throughout the season. Number 4, Jake Brasfield, our right fielder, led us in home runs, led us in stolen bases. He was top 5 in the state in stolen bases, and played a great right field for us. Next young man, Micah Earwood. We could stay here till midnight bragging on what he did. But Micah will leave Cartersville undefeated in region games as a pitcher. Gave up 2 runs in his career in region games. It's pretty impressive. Next guy, Drew Rothschild. Drew made this play. You can't measure it as a stat at Ware County. You guys that went down to Ware, we were up by 1 run in game 2. Okay, we had to win to keep the season going. Drew's on second. Harrison Childers is up to bat. Harrison hits one to the outfield for a sac fly. We score a run. Drew's on first base. Is that right, Drew? Yeah. You're on first base. My bad. Drew's on first base. Our runner from third scores. Drew comes diving into second. I'm over there going, oh my gosh, they got him out. He makes a great slide. He's safe. Ware County guys are mad and yelling at the ump, yelling at each other. Drew takes off for third. They're not paying attention. Nobody was at third. It was a great play. You can't teach that. You can't coach that. That was all Drew Rothschild. And I bring that up because our dugout went nuts. It was 6-4 when that happened. When the inning was over, it was 12-4. And I believe it was because of the energy he brought on that play. Next we got Elliott Easton. Elliott played center field we played 37 games. Elliott, you probably started 35 or 36 of them. Batted anywhere in the order from 2nd to 5th, 6th to 7th. Hit a huge home run at Decatur. A lot of big hits. Elliott ended up hitting like 395 the second half of the season. Had a great year. Blake Sutton. Blake had 3 game-winning hits this year. That's pretty impressive in a 37-game season. We won 27 games, so 1/9 of our wins were because of Blake getting hits in the last inning of the game. Next we got Colt Mckibben. Colt played left, played first, he pitched. Colt had a no-hitter against Cass into the 5th inning, and they bunted to break up the no-hitter. We got a lot of baseball purists. You're not really supposed to do that. Obviously, it's within the rules, but it was like, are you kidding me? Did you know you had a no-hitter?
I was thinking about it.
You were thinking about it? I guarantee you Silas Freeman knew you had a no-hitter, and he probably said something about it. Parker McPherson next. Parker never played first base, went to play first this year, led us in hitting, hit the big home run at Decatur. More about Parker later on, but obviously he's a huge part of us winning. Silas, I was picking on Silas. This is, and I mean this in all sincerity, Silas pitched in many games we won. Silas' probably biggest contribution this year was in a game we didn't win. I'm going to explain why real quick. it came down to us and Calhoun for second in the region. We were that close to beating BT and winning the region, it just didn't work out. Calhoun was on our heels, okay? And we had played Calhoun before BT. We went up there, Micah shut them out, we got some big hits, and so they came to our place, and in game one of that doubleheader, they jumped out on us, 3-0, and their pitcher was hot, and you tip your hat, he had a good day. We didn't pitch great to start the game, but we brought in Silas, and Silas shut them down for 3 innings and held them in check, okay, and kept us within scoring distance to maybe win the game late. It didn't work out that way. However, what Silas did was allowed us to save Davis for later in the game. Mason came and pitched that night in game 2, the game that would determine the winner of the series. And because of that, we were able to save our pitching. Silas ate up innings for us. And when we beat Calhoun, that allowed us to be the 2 seed and host a playoff game. So stuff like that, you can't really measure it. You don't know it. Silas, you don't understand how big that was for our season. Cal Goss, picked up 2 wins on the mound for us. We did 7-18. And again, Cal's biggest play to me is not one you can measure in stats. At Lake Point, Cal came in, we were playing Centennial. We're in the bottom of the 8th. We're the visiting team, tie baseball game, winning run on 3rd. They hit a ground ball to 1st. Parker makes a great stab over there. Most high school pitchers in that kind of moment are going to be standing on the mound watching the play. And had Cal done that, the runner's safe, Centennial wins. Cal was not watching the play. He was so into the game, so into his job. He covers the bag perfectly. Parker makes a great flip. Cal made a great catch, stepped on the bag, got us into the dugout, kept the game going. Top of the 9th, Hank got the hit. Cal went out, shut him down. We won the game. Next got number 22, Drake Carver. Drake can catch. Drake can play infield. Can play outfield. He's probably, of all the guys out here, he can probably play all 9 positions legitimately. And Drake, again, how can you help the team win? Drake scored the winning run in game 1 against Chapel Hill, and he scored the winning run in game 1 against Decatur. And a lot of y'all know how tight that Decatur. We won both games by a single run, and Drake was in the game and on second base. And when we got the base hit, we were waving him home, and he helped us win 2 baseball games with his legs. Next got Jimbo Gaines. Jimbo did a great job coming in and pinch hitting. Actually hit over 300 as a pinch hitter. Got in at that Lake Point tournament. Got 2 hits in that game and did a great job for us. And I didn't really know Jimbo that well until this year. Got a great personality. He is one of the team favorites. He brings great enthusiasm, great energy to the team. He's got great shoes. You can't beat his shoes. My wife bought me some shoes that I'm wearing that some of the guys, I call them the Air Jimbos. I thought I outdid him in the shoe game tonight, but I didn't. His shoes, he still got it. So Jimbo brings a lot of energy to the team. Colin Eaton. Colin, I'm not going to say your nickname. It's nothing inappropriate or bad or anything, but the pitchers came up with a nickname for Colin, but this is all you need to know about Colin. Colin didn't get to pitch in a varsity game until Lake Point, okay? And he goes out there, first varsity outing, and we got the lead. We're going to try to let Colin shut it down. I think maybe the first guy walked Colin, the next guy hit one off the top of the wall, and we're kind of going, oh gosh. But listen, the dugout was going nuts. Hey, he buckled down. That guy did not score, and he got the next 3 guys out. And you would have thought it was a Friday night game, the end of the Bartow County tournament, and our team hit the field like we won the state championship because they were so excited for Colin's success. Colin Eaton. Next we got Tyler Williamson. Tyler can play 3rd, can play short, can play 2nd. Hands are unbelievable. Defensive guru, and swings the bat well. He had, I think, 2 home runs foul by like 2 feet this year. But again, just very valuable to the team. Played a lot of games, started a lot of games, and if he wasn't starting, he'd come in late in the game. We got a lead as a defensive specialist. And I think Tyler was at game 2 at Decatur. Tyler comes in, 7th inning, game 2, first ball right to him. Boom, great play, throws across the first. And 2 outs later, we had beat the number 2 team in the state. Next got Paul Campbell. Paul played left field. He do a lot of courtesy running for us. He started some. He'd come in off the bench. Got a huge double in that Calhoun game, in that night game against Calhoun. We got in a little bit of breathing room. Put Paul in. He had a 2-run double, kind of put the game out of reach. Also hit a home run at Highland. Paul Campbell. Next got Trey Holstein. Trey did a great job. He also hit over 300. He hit a triple in that Highland game, but Trey made some nice catches. Trey got to play in that second Cass game where we finished a 3-game sweep of Cass. And I want to say, I don't know, I think we had 6 RBIs. And I think between Davis and Trey, our seniors on senior night, they had 5 of the 6 RBIs. So it was a great senior night. Trey Holstein. Gunnar Millsap, I haven't talked to Gunnar yet about the injury. Just glad Gunnar's up here. He's kind of a godsend. And Gunnar kind of showed up, out of nowhere at the beginning of the year. And then I learned he's related to Cal, and they had a lot of fun going back and forth. But Gunnar he was great on the mound for us. Again, 8 up innings for us. But Gunnar came in some big-time spots in playoff games and didn't allow any runs. Helped us out at Decatur, helped us out at Ware County. So we don't go where we went without Gunnar Millsap. Case Adams. Case came up with us, played a lot of JV games, but ran a lot of bases for us, played some outfield, and had a really good year offensively on the JV team, but scored a lot of runs for us when he got in the game. We had a couple little hiccups there, base running, but we learned from him and did great. And Case was very, very valuable member of the team, and like I said, scored a ton of runs when he got in to run bases. Harrison Childers. Harrison, he won the JV pitcher award and probably showed up at the first playoff series not thinking at all that he played shortstop. Ended up coming to the game, got a game-winning hit in game 1 of the playoffs. Followed it up the very next game with 3 more hits. Ended up hitting like .295 for us. And started at shortstop when the team needed him, and did a great job for us. Miles Owen. Miles had a great year on the JV. Helped us, got to start some games on the varsity team. One of the first two or three games he got in, Coach Gochi said, he runs pretty well. So we put Miles in to run the bases, and Miles was at second and Paul was at first. And so we gave him the double steal, and Miles stole third with ease. And looked at me and goes, was I supposed to run? I was like, yes, sir. I was like, you better have, because Paul was following you. But thankfully, Paul was kind of signaling to him on first, go, go, go. And in Miles' defense, he'd been with Coach Gochi. Our signs are different. And he came up with us in the second game. But excited about Miles helping us too more in the future. Caleb Daniel. Caleb's like a ping pong ball. Freshman team, JV team, varsity team. Got some hits on the varsity. He's got that monkey off his back, got his first varsity hit. Thankful to Caleb, he was hanging out at home, like first 9th grade game, Caleb, I think, and one of our 9th graders got a bloody nose, got hit by the ball, and it was tough, and called Caleb, was like, Caleb, what are you doing? I'm sitting on the couch. You want to play today? Okay, ask my dad. Yeah, yeah, Caleb. So Caleb came, and I think he got over to that 9th grade game that day. It was a Saturday. I think got 3 hits, and then made it over to the varsity game. We played at East Cobb that night. But he was a big help for us. We had a fun moment in the dugout this year that we'll always get to laugh at. I'm not going to embarrass you. The good thing is we won the game. We'll always talk about that. But you can see, great smile, great young man, great player, can hit, good catcher. Got to catch in some varsity games. Like I said, got some hits when he got in. Caleb Daniel. Next we got Lana Cole. Landon, I was looking at the stats down there a minute ago. Landon's on-base percentage in the varsity games was .833. So we got to go back and look at maybe getting him in the game more. Coach Tucker, I think his second or third, I think maybe first time Landon or second time he might have struck out, and after that he got on base every time. He hit a ball off the wall at Lake Point when he got in the varsity game. Got a lot of freshmen hitting the ball off the wall, opposite field at that. You see how strong he is and what a great swing he has. We're excited about Landon. Glad we got to have him with us. Next we got Ryan Johnson. Ryan got to pitch some of the Lake Point game that we won. First varsity outing, probably a little bit. He's just so competitive and he's such a perfectionist. It was one of those, if he didn't go and throw 2 perfect innings, he's probably going to be upset. But glad to get him in the game and got to some varsity experience, some other games. But the biggest thing about that, and especially some of these younger guys, biggest thing for Ryan was getting to be around Micah, getting to be around Davis, getting to be around these other pitchers, see how they handle themselves and how they go about their business. That'll serve him well down the road. Next we got Caden Carroll. Caden was unable to pitch during the season due to some arm issues, but he got to spend time with Coach Williams and all the pitchers and do everything they did. And by the end of the year, he was getting to throw a little bit and practice some. He filmed the games for us, but he was putting in the practice time. Like I said, his injury prevented him from getting on the field with us this year, but he's had a great summer. Seen some great highlights from him, so we're excited about Caden in the future. And then last but not least, we got Mr. Luke Wendland. Luke is the first ever student director of baseball analytics. And what I mean by that is Luke literally charts practice. When we take infield practice, Luke will take notes of every position and how many errors we made, not to come back and say, hey, second baseman, y'all made 8 errors, but hey, Tuesday as a team, we made 14 errors. And then the team can use that as, hey guys, we made 14 as a team yesterday, let's cut that down today. And then they might make 9, and everybody's excited. He charts every swing in the cages and sends me a report of it every night, and hey, this guy's doing well, and it's a lot of times the guys that are practicing well, it ends up carrying over into the games, and does a great job during the games. We are lucky to have him, and we've recruited. We're going to talk about it more. We're doing everything we can. He's going to graduate. We're doing everything we can to get him back if the college classes will allow it. Real quickly, every one of these young men that is up here on the varsity team will letter, okay? They will letter if they have already lettered. And in order to save time, if you need a bar, a baseball, or a letter, if you're a first-time letterman, okay, y'all know what I'm talking about for your jackets, because your mamas and dads are going to want you out of this. Come to my classroom, unless you're a senior, we've got it tonight. Does that make sense, Kate? You looking at me funny? All right, I've got it in my classroom so we can save time. But everybody up here earns a letter. I want everybody to hear that. Just some real quick things about what the team did. It's on the back here. The senior class that's graduating, they graduate as the third winningest class in 5A. That's pretty good. The only teams that did better than them were Loganville and Blessed Trinity. And there's a lot of teams below them that these guys outperformed during their careers. Is pretty impressive. This year's team won their pool, the Perfect Game High School Showdown for the 4th straight year, one of the most competitive tournaments in the country, and the 3rd place overall finish was the best in school history. We've been going to that tournament now for 9 years, and this team went farther and finished higher than any other team at Cartersville. The 2021 Hurricanes won 27 games, becoming one of the 9th team in school history to win 27 or more. I have records as far as the team record back to 1950. If any of you old timers know if we played baseball before then, I feel like we did, but I can't find any kind of record that goes back before 1950. So I think we're talking 72 seasons, and only 9 have won 27 games. This team did that. And then to kind of what they added to, the 2021 Hurricanes reached the state quarterfinals, marking the 22nd time in the last 25 seasons Cartersville has reached the state quarterfinals. One of only 2 schools in Georgia. Only 2 schools in Georgia that have gone to the quarterfinals 22 out of the last 25 years are Parkview and Cartersville. If you know anything about high school baseball, if you're mentioned with Parkview, that's pretty dang good. And these guys did it, and they kept that tradition going, so let's give them a round of applause for the great one. All right, gentlemen, y'all can sit down. Great job. All right, I'm going to bring up Coach Adams. This next set of awards are anybody that was voted upon, not by us, recognized all county, all region, or all state. We're going to recognize those guys right quick.
I've been sitting down here for the last 20 minutes nervous about my spot on the roll here, so it's game time, I guess. I want to say thank you to you parents. I know what it takes, because not only do I coach, here with you guys, but as my kids come through the program, and it's a lot of work for you parents, and we appreciate every bit of it because you make things so much better. And I know it's hard sometimes, and we work through it and we get through it. And you have a great set of kids here, young men that you do a wonderful job with, and they're a joy to be around. You seniors, this is my chance to talk, so I'm going to talk a little bit. Thank you guys. You're a gritty group. You competed your tail off, and that's all you can do. I can't emphasize enough how showing up every day, working hard, and competing the way you competed. It was fun to be around, and I appreciate it. And good luck to you guys. And you're always welcome back over there at the fields. So moving forward, I have the individual awards for the outfield. I coach with the outfield guys. They'll tell you I'm a fly ball specialist. And we have a lot of fun, just a lot of fun. I really love coming to spend time with these guys, even after all these years. My hips are giving out and my stomach's getting bigger and I don't move like I used to, but it's still a lot of fun to hang out with these guys. But individually, we've got 3 guys that are going to receive awards tonight. And the first guy, he goes all region, all county recipient. He played center field for us. I've known him since about the 3rd or 4th grade, and which goes for a lot of you guys, but he works his tail off. He deserves every one of these individual accomplishments. He's fun to watch. He works hard at the game, and he's got another year to do it again. He's an all-county player, all-region player, and well-deserved, Elliott Easton. Good job, Elliott. And the next recipient, he's an all-state recipient, all-region, and all-county. He's very intense, which I like at times. I used to want to kill him in PE class because he took everything like it was the Super Bowl. He would tear your arm off for a kickball. Everybody cheated when we played Capture the Animal. He was fierce, he plays hard, he does everything hard. And that's a great asset to have when he's between the lines. I love his effort, I love the way he gets after it, and we've got another year of him. He's an all-state player, all-region player, all-county player, Jake Brassfield. And he looks like Ric Flair. Last individual award I have is a real special kid. You wouldn't know it because it's really surprising, but he's a very good athlete. He's a very good athlete, and he's very capable of doing a lot of things for us. And he did. He played some left field. He's a great left-handed pitcher. He plays some first base. Very versatile, very smooth at the plate. He's a good baseball player, and he's very capable in multiple areas. And we have another year with him as well. He's an all-region player. He played left field for us, and he pitched for us and played some first. Colt Mckibben. I'd just like to say thanks again to you parents. It was a COVID year, and every day was wild, and we never knew what was coming and what was happening in the halls and what we were going to play today, and we got through it, and we had a great time. Thank you for your support and your kids. They're a great group of young men. We're going to miss Coach Gochi on the field, but what an asset he is to have in the weight room that you should be taking advantage of, you young guys. Bigger, stronger, faster, and there's a great reputation to withhold here at Cartersville. Thank you, guys.
Like Tug said earlier, I'm Asa Williams. For some of y'all that don't know me, I'm the same thing as Luke, Luke Daniel. Both of us are community coaches, and I love coaching baseball, man. I love Cartersville, I love everything about it. That's why I'm here, I'm passionate, and I work in Kennesaw and I drive to Cartersville. It runs in my blood. My dad played at Cartersville, my brother played at Cartersville, I played at Cartersville. We all wore number 8. So it runs deep with me, and I enjoy every single moment of it. Like with BA, he's still with outfield. I'm going to do pitchers and catchers. These first two I'm going to kind of group together. Not many teams have the opportunity like we do to have two absolutely dynamic catchers that work hard, that are just as talented. Rarely do you see two catchers that come through a program that are the talent level that they are. And it says a lot to them that they want to stay at Cartersville and they want to just be a part of this program, because anybody, especially in this day and age, can just leave and go somewhere else. Both of them would start as a catcher at anywhere else, and I don't doubt it. They're two of the best catchers in the state of Georgia, 100%. So the first one is Kurt Bonner. He's all state, all region, all county. The second one is Hank Smith, all region, all county. This next young man is the absolute definition of know your role. Whenever we do team time, Coach Thacker has us as a team do team time. Us coaches jump in every once in a while, and one of the things that I try to instill in them early is know your role, because that more than anything defines a player, and it helps a team succeed like we did with 27 wins, which is unheard of. And this kid probably, in the 4 years that he was here, played and soaked in every single role that he participated in, whether it was in the infield, running bases, or coming in and pitching for us. And about halfway through, or not halfway through the season, right before playoffs, I got our pitchers together and kind of gave them a little incentive as to really show me what they got. And our saying was, be a dog, and just go out there and just compete and have fun and do it for the guys around you, do it for your team. And that's the epitome. This kid epitomized that. And he came in and shut the door on a lot of teams, embarrassed a lot of hitters, and then came in and did the unexpected and pitched 7 innings in the playoff game, which is something that he didn't do the entire year. If it was up to Tuck, he'd come in the 3rd inning of every game and pitch the rest of the game, but we needed to save his arm because he was just that important to us as a team. So this next guy, all state, all region, and Bartow County Pitcher of the Year is Davis Williams. And our last guy, like what Tuck has said multiple times, goes without saying, he was our dude, 1,000%. We have 7 categories that I like to go by. I don't like necessarily to throw ERA and hits and earned runs and everything else into them. We go by goals. So we have a strike percentage goal, a fastball strike percentage goal, a strikeout to walk ratio, first pitch strike, 3-ball count, weak contact, and a rule number 1. Rule number 1 is, like what Gochi was saying earlier, within the first 3 pitches of an at-bat, have a 1-2 count or create weak contact. And this kid led in every single one of those. He's going somewhere that they're lucky to have him. It's an absolute steal that he's going to Georgia State, because he could be going somewhere much bigger. There's no doubt about it. And he was the Region 7 Pitcher of the Year, the Bartow County Player of the Year, and he's also All-State, Micah Earwood. Last thing I want to say, this was my 4th year coaching Cartersville. My 3rd year is being lucky enough to be the pitching and catching coach. Going back, I want to say, even Coach Cagle, this was our, he would be able to tell me, this was our 12th year, 13th year, something like that in a row, where we've had a team ERA of under 2, which is unheard of. And I'm lucky enough to have stud pitchers on the mound that make me look good, because I just call pitches. And most of them are coming back, Smiley and Callahan, and I know I'm forgetting somebody else. Colt, Dwooby, yeah. All coming back. And this is a little sentimental to me. This senior class, I came in with them. This was my first year whenever I coached with Coach Gochi, my freshman year, or for the freshman team. Very blessed, very honored to be part of this program. Thank you.
All right, for those who don't know me, I'm Jojo Underwood, and I'm absolutely terrified to be doing this right now. I hate public speaking. But a little bit kind of like, we just want to thank y'all, and I want to tell y'all one thing, our hitters, what they go through is, what we try to do, me and Coach Adams, the guy I played for, the stuff he does, Division I level, and the stuff I want these guys to go through is the same thing. We do the exact same thing Notre Dame's doing to this day, I guarantee it. And it's pretty, like, I guarantee not many high school programs are doing from a hitting standpoint that we do day in and day out. I promise you they're not. And it's just a testament to them, their hard work, and just like we had 5 guys this year bat over 300. That's pretty good in my opinion. Another guy 2 points away from it. So almost 6 guys over 300, 6 of the 9. So that's pretty dang good in my opinion. But, so thank y'all hitters for all the hard work y'all put into it. So real quick, this first guy, he's someone kind of going into the year, we knew he was gonna have a role for us. We didn't know where, we didn't know how, we didn't know when. And he just kept going, kept plugging away, kept working. We started putting him at DH, and we put him at second. And next thing we know, he's in the 5 hole, and he ended up batting over 300 on the year. He batted 350 in the playoffs, and he was an all region, and he was an all county player, and that's Blake Sutton. All right, this next guy, he had a lot of ups and downs this year. He had more ups and downs, I will say that. But he's a big jokester. Unless he's having a bad game and he's going for the golden sombrero, he don't want to talk to them. But at the end of the playoff time, the man batted over 500, and that don't happen very often. I promise you that. It's pretty impressive for a kid to do that, because he kept plugging away at times where he wasn't doing too good, but he never really said a word, just kept on going in the cage, kept working, and eventually figured it out. And he was an all-county player for us, and that's Drew Rothschild. All right, this last guy, he's probably one of the, I would say, probably the heart of the team in a way. Where he went, we all went. And the biggest moment, oh, well, probably mentioned it already, but the coolest thing of the year, probably the biggest moment the year for me was a 3-1 ball game, 3-2 count. He's fouling pitches off. Coach Daniel kind of taps me and said, like, this is our season on the line right here. Like, this is when your dudes come to play. And I don't think it was probably the next pitch. Ball's in the trees, tied ball game. We go on to win that one 4-3. Next game 4-3 as well. And he works his butt off. He's going to do well in college and all that. And he's an all-county player, all-region. He was also all-state. He was named the Bartow County Player of the Year. And that's Parker McPherson.
Okay, our last set of awards here. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. We're going to try to get through this, but I also want to make sure that we, recognize these young men properly. Like Coach Williams was talking about, they accomplished a lot, not just our pitchers, hitters. I mean, y'all know they put in a lot of work, and baseball's a tough game. And, we learned that at Ware County. You can do everything right, and all we ask them is you battle as hard as you can. And I've been around Cartersville baseball since 2007, and I got stats and all. I know too much stats. It doesn't do much good, but what I'm getting at is I went back and looked at all that. We've never been down 4 in an elimination game where if we lose that game, it's over, the season's over. We got down 4-0 down there at Ware County, and these guys, they battled back and ended up winning the game 12-5 and got us to the next day. And I bring that up because we got down 3-0 the next day before we could blink, and they battled back, and we have nobody on base and a man out in the 7th, and we're down 1, and Kurt hits a double, and we get a hit, and we got another hit. Next thing you know, it's tied. But this is baseball, and we got the winner or go-ahead run on third. Elliott's up. Elliott hits a rocket, but the center fielder didn't have to move. There's nothing in the world Elliott could have done than what he did. He hit the ball hard and just went right to the guy. That's baseball. And in the 7th inning, they get a guy on second base, and Colt makes a great pitch, and their guy really didn't hit the ball hard. He didn't hit it hard. Elliott hit it harder than their guy. He just hit it in the right spot, and Jake Brassfield made a heck of a play, perfect throw. Kurt did a great job, everything he could, and wait to tag the guy, and it just didn't work out, and that's baseball. But the work that they put in got them to that position, and they were an eyelash from going to the Final Four. And the first Cartersville team, I'm gonna tell y'all, to ever compete in 5A. Cartersville's never played in 5A, and better teams in 5A than 4A, y'all know that. And y'all are that close to going to the Final Four. Heck of a dang year, and we're all very proud of you. This last set of awards, these are voted on by the coaches, some by some community members. So these are some special awards, not that the ones previous weren't, of course they were, but there's a lot of thought that goes into these next awards. The first one is the Jim Locke Play Like a Champion. I want y'all to know what that is. Jim Locke was here around Cartersville in the late 1990s, kind of a retired coach, came over from Pickens County with Coach, you guys remember Coach Barton and Coach Chester, kind of came over with them and just really poured into our football and basketball teams, and it kind of spilled over into baseball. And would do a lot of he was just kind of an encourager. He'd do a lot of pregame talks, some devotions with the kids, and he got sick and passed away and didn't get to spend a lot of time here, but his thing that he would always tell the young men was play like a champion. And what does play like a champion mean? It's kind of what I mentioned earlier, that hey, if we're up 8-0 or we're down 8-0, you're just playing the best that you can, you're playing the hardest that you can, and you may have to battle through an injury, you may have to battle through, I want to play more, I didn't get to start this day, but you keep your attitude up. And you do what Coach Locke said. You play like a champion. The 1999 football team that went undefeated, they had his stickers on his helmet and everything. I want to make sure that his memory lives on. We still give that award in football, and it's 2021. And I want to say Coach Locke passed away in 1999, but we're going to keep this award going as long as we could. We weren't able to give one out last year because we just didn't, with the COVID year, we didn't have a full season and have some of these awards. But without further ado, this year's winner of the Jim Locke Play Like a Champion Award, as voted on by the coaches, is Kurt Bonner. All right, the next award's a tough one. It's called the Impact Play, and it's just kind of a play in the year that, and a lot of times, thankful to make a playoff run. It happens in a playoff game that really is kind of that one play that kind of sent us on our way. And listen, Drew's play I mentioned earlier, it could have won. Davis coming in, yours could have won. Micah, you had a bunch of plays that could have won, but we got to pick one. And like Coach Underwood, Coach Dan were talking about, we're down 3-1. In the top of the sixth at Decatur. Decatur won 21 games in a row. They were 28-4. They hadn't lost a game in over 2 months. We're playing at their field, and we got the tie and run on base. And I just remember being over there, man, Parker, if you ever gonna hit one out, my man, this would be the time to do it. And he battled and battled and battled, like Coach Underwood said, foul off, foul off, foul off, and the next thing you know, bang, way up in the trees. Decatur has a small field. It would have been out at Richard Bell. It was an absolute bomb. Our dugout went nuts, tied the game. Next inning, Kurt gets a hit, Drake goes to run for him, Hank gets a hit. You see how it takes everybody. Davis comes in, shuts them down, and we won the ball game. But this year's Impact Play Award is Parker McPherson, his home run at Decatur. All right, the next award is called Mr. May, and that's a takeoff on Mr. October. Baseball guys, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October back, I think in the 70s. We play our playoffs in May, so we call it Mr. May, and it's really just the person that just showed out in May. And in all honesty, this story today is, I think, August the 5th, and this is almost a little bit like a movie, if we want to be honest. Because I think it's almost going on, I got my math right, 4 months to the day. I think it was April 7th or 8th. We played 2 games at Lake Point, and we're walking out after the first game. We played 9 innings. We won the game, and we're sending all the kids to eat. I think we had a break or whatever. And this young man, I'm walking in my car, just said, Coach, can I talk to you, man? I'm like, yeah, man. So we opened up the little 4Runner, and we sat right there on the back of the 4Runner and just talked, and he was having a difficult time. And it wasn't a secret, and he knew it, and we knew it, and everybody up here, we're pulling for him more than anybody in the world. And it's tough, because he was trying harder than anyone in the world, and he just wasn't having success. And it hurt. And I told him, man, it hurts me, because I know you're hurting. And I told him, I said, man, you're just learning a life lesson at 16 or 17 that other guys are going to learn it. You're learning it through this sport. And I don't say that to sound corny or cliched. I mean it. And he was having to go through a tough time, at a young age. And he just said, Coach, I want to be out there. I said, I know you want to be out there. We want you to be. But I said, I think the saying on the Miracle on Ice movie, what was the coach say? What's Coach Brooks say? You play in a way that makes me keep you here. You're a guru of that movie. Something to that effect. And, I just challenged him. I said, I know you want to be on the field. We want you to be on the field. You go show us that we got to put you in the game. And he got in that night, and he got 2 hits and hit a sac fly, and he got hotter, and he got hotter, and he got hotter, and then he got to where he couldn't make an out. And he ended up hitting 500 in the playoffs, 500 in the Georgia 5A state playoffs. That's unbelievable. I'm not going to tell what his batting average was the first half of the season. Okay? Second half of the season, he hit 570. 570. That is unheard of. This year's Mr. May, Drew Rothschild. All right, next is our academic award, and I'm not saying it to say it, it's the truth. Maybe it's because we had Sam Melton, by the way, and Mason. We've got some guys already gone to college. That's why we don't have all our seniors here. It is a smaller senior class, okay? But this senior class, I guess I became the head coach their freshman year, so I never really looked at grades, not being the head coach, until these guys became freshmen. And in my 4 years, they are the best academic class we've ever had. I dare say, and I try to go back and look, but the computer, we've already flipped to a new school year. I think they might have made 1B the entire year among all of them. It's pretty impressive, okay? And most of them are not even on campus during the day. They're taking college classes. If they're on campus, they're taking AP classes, except Davis and Parker. What was that one y'all were in the hallway? Y'all were taking class. What class was that?
That was
Econ? Davis was laughing.
Coach goes in the hallway.
It seemed like Davis and Parker and Sam were always out in the hallway in one class. I didn't know how much learning was going on, but hey, so it was during the COVID year. But somebody's got to win the academic award. And we kind of have a point system we do with the grades because, you want to compare apples to apples, and it's tough when, one guy's on campus all day and this guy's at Highlands and everything. When we started really looking at it and we breaking it down and we did do our point system, it really wasn't close. This young man's leaving for college in 2 weeks. He's going to Mercer. Tell you how smart he is. This year's academic award winner is Trey Holstein. And I want to brag on Davis and Parker and Micah, and Mason's not here, and that's a heck of a senior class. Trey, to win that and beat those guys out, guys, I'm not knocking y'all. That's impressive. That's a great senior class, great on the field, great academically. All right, y'all are doing good. We're almost to the end. I'm gonna ask Kim and Eric Black if y'all will come on up, please, guys. Special award right here. Yeah, that's right. Don't stand. All right, Miss Kim told me she didn't want to talk, so that I'm gonna speak. We welcome Kim and Eric Black, and we're going to present the Garrett Black for Love of the Game Scholarship. And just thank you to Kim and Eric for continuing to pour into our program, and that the Memorial Scholarship for Garrett is continuing to go on, and to honor him and honor their family. And in talking to Kim, there's always a discussion of, who are some eligible people to win it. And some years there's some discussion, and some years there's some recommendations, and some years there's not. And some years there's this, I want this person to win. We were able to give, say we, because of their efforts, able to give an award a year ago. I don't know if y'all were there. We got to surprise Alan Thacker before a game. Alan had no idea he was going to win it. He's coming home from college, and we're texting him. We're about to play a game. I'm texting him. His dad's texting him. Where are you? Like, I don't know if I'm coming. I'm like, he's got to get here. We're trying to surprise him. But anyway, it all worked out. But to win this scholarship, there's a lot of thought from Kim and Eric that goes into this, and it's not just necessarily the best player, it's not necessarily just the best student, it's the name of the scholarship is for love of the game. Garrett loved baseball. This goes to a young man that loves baseball, but encompasses high level of character, high level of achievement in everything. And again, I bragged on the senior class. There are a lot of people that could win this, but at the end, the winner of this year's Garrett Black for Love of the Game scholarship goes to Micah Earwood. I saw Ronnie sneak in. Ronnie, you want to come up? Paxton, you can hang out. You can come up too, whatever you want to do. I think Paxton's heading on up. Yes. As Ronnie's making his way up, y'all know Mr. Ronnie Turner. He's going to tell you about the Chip Turner Memorial Scholarship.
Move here. Good. First of all, I want to apologize before I start. I might tear up, I might not, but here goes. First of all, congratulations to all the players, their families. Y'all finished with a great season. You really have accomplished a lot. Not only that, you went through a year of COVID, and it was tough. Chip's family wants to thank all of y'all, everybody, for the support you've given to the scholarship. We wanted Chip's scholarship to last a long time, and it will. I'm not, but it will. To help direct the scholarship, I established I call it my advisory board. It consisted of Andrea Williams, Brad Hughes, Paxton Russell, and Georgie Russell. The original board also included Deborah Larson, if anybody knows her, and Randy Shaw, longtime friends. The advisory board has realized many players and fans don't know what Chip meant to the program. And we asked Coach Tucker to explain to his players each season about that, and he has. Also, he came up with an idea to have a Chip Turner Day. In the past, we called it a Chippy T Redneck Olympics, and we raised money, so gave raffle, sold tickets, and we got them scholarships, so it's almost endowed completely. It is a $1,000 per year for 4 years to the recipient of the Chip Turner Award. We stay with you for 4 years. All you got to do is pass. And then the other thing you do have to do is the Etowah Foundation they disperse the money and they require you to correspond with them, and when they send you an email, answer it, whoever the winner is. And on February the 5th of 2022, last year was our first year of doing the Chip Turner Day at the field, which it turned out to be a great success. And we want to tie the scholarship more into the program because the program's going to last a lot longer than we are. This way, this on February the 5th, 22, we will have the chip turner day at Richard Bell Field. This is, y'all get your new uniforms. It's just a fun day. And I cook a little barbecue and bring it, and Scott's good, but I'm better. And I went to school with Scott, so we were longtime friends. Chip's best friend is Paxton Russell. I feel I've raised Paxton, and he's handling, I'm stepping away a little bit. I'm going to be his advisor, and he's going to be my legs. I'm 69, getting a little older, a little slower, a lot slower. But now about the scholarship is, you got to contact Etowah Foundation. And this year's recipient is Sam Melton, and his
Mom, is Dan,
is
Mrs. Melton here? Is she?
Mrs. Melton here.
Okay, I tell you what, seniors, y'all come accept the award. Come on up. Yeah, y'all come on up. And seniors all accept it on Sam's behalf.
Okay, and the plaque stays in the locker room with, and we.
Y'all get on up there. Go.
It's our 13th year. Well, congratulations. He's gonna get that.
Hang out.
He's almost.
Hang out.
You heard about the
There you go. But this is, I think this is our 13th or 14th year of doing the scholarship. And as you can see, it's more empty spaces, and we're going to add another baseball plate to it. So it'll be here for at least, well, it's in doubt now. So we got a good program. Y'all got a great program. And congratulations to all of you.
Sam, like 2 weeks ago, took a trip out to Texas and found a home, and it's kind of like a little baseball academy, kind of a gap year where it won't count against his college. He'll be playing baseball, but they're like, can you get here next Saturday? That was last Saturday. So Sam can't be here. Sam already knew he was going to win the award, as voted on as the coaches. Sam, it's the best attitude award. You know, Ronnie, I'm sure doesn't mind me sharing, and y'all probably know from the day, you know, Chip got cut as a junior and had a bad attitude. And this was back, I think, 2005. But it changed, brought a better attitude back his senior year and made the baseball team and was one of, and I wasn't here then, this is, you know, hearing from Ronnie and from Coach Chester. Might not have thrown the most innings as a pitcher that year, but brought a lot of life to the team and had the best attitude. And Sam, that was Sam this year. Sam got to play a good bit. I'm sure he wanted to play more. I mean, every player does, and that's good. It's competitive. Baseball's competitive. It's a competitive program. But no matter if he was playing or not, Sam kept a great attitude. There's a great picture, I think, when Davis got the last out at Decatur, and Sam's out there just jumping up in there. He's as excited as anybody, and he didn't even get in for one pitch. So it's quite an honor for Sam to win that award. And like Ronnie showed with the plaque, it'll have everybody's name, all the past winners, to win the Garrett Black Award, to win the Jim Locke Award, Kurt, to win the Chip Turner Award. Guys, that's pretty special. You ought to be proud of yourselves. All right, last three of the night, kind of our team awards. We're going to do an MVP offense and an MVP defense. We'll start with this man's defense. He had never We put him in a position he had never played, and within the first couple of games made a few errors, and we tried someone else over there, and respectfully, the young man, encourage it always, the young man came and talked to me and said, Coach, you know, I can do this. I know I haven't really ever been over there doing it. I can play this position. And over the last 32 games, he made no errors and actually became a force for us over there at first base. I'm going to talk about his offense because the same person's going to win MVP offense and MVP defense. He ended up hitting .352 for the year, a slugging percentage of .476, an on-base percentage of .466. Led us in hits, he led us in doubles, and he was second in RBIs and second in runs scored. So this year's most valuable offensive player and most valuable defensive player is Parker McPherson. All right, the next award is the most valuable pitcher, and we have a most valuable player. We're going to start with the most valuable pitcher and kind of explain the thinking on this one a little bit. Tough to choose. If you watched us play this year, you knew how talented we were with the guys that we ran on the mound. We had some very talented pitchers. But when you start thinking about value to a team and what this young man can do, it kind of made it clear who's going to win that award, and you probably kind of know where I'm going, or you will in a minute. He's kind of our closer. He could start, kind of like Coach Williams said. A lot of times, if it got, I'd start talking. I'd say, all right, we're going to get it to the 6th and bring this guy in, and like, yeah, let's get it to the 6th. And I was like, what about the 5th? And then I'd go ask the young man, when do you want to come pitch? He'd be like, right now. And I'd be like, it's the 2nd inning. Okay? But he really would have done it. He really would have done it if we asked him. And listen to me. I've gotten the numbers back to 1996. So we're going to say since 1996. And we can list the accolades of Cartersville players and what they've done since 1996 and our pitchers. We've got one in the big leagues right now. We got Will Startup, Pops' son, pitched at Georgia in the College World Series, okay? Pitched for the Braves organization for quite a while. We can list some pitchers' accolades. So no one, okay, there's a list of one since 1996. Now, it might have before 96. Since 1996, no one has saved 2 games in the playoffs, okay? Saved 2 games, much less on the same day, against the number 2 team in the state, and also thrown a complete game in the same playoffs. Think about that. Y'all know baseball. Most of the time, guys are a starting pitcher, or they're a closer, or they're a middle reliever. This young man, when it got time to, hey, these games really mean something, and we told him, hey, man, you may go in at any pitch. You may go into any pitch. We don't know. It could be any game. It could be game 1. It could be game 2. It could be all 3 of them. Early in the playoffs, we were thinking about, gosh, we might need to bring him in here. Let's hold him, whatever. When we didn't have a great game 1 at Ware County, the season was on the line. And I mean, look, coaching's overrated. You pick your best players, you put them out there, and you let them go. And he was our best that we had left in the tank. And we had a terrible first inning at Ware County. I think y'all could probably remember it wasn't very good. And I don't even know if they had a hit, and we were down 4-0, okay? And we get our first 2 guys make outs, and then all of a sudden Parker gets on base, and we got some guys on base, and then with 2 outs and maybe 2 strikes, Mr. May gets a hit, and the ball goes under left fielder's glove, and next thing you know, it's 4-4, and that dugout starts believing. And then this young man goes out there and shuts them down the next inning. So we start thinking, man, what are we going to do? We got to save them. What if we can win? Well, we understand we got to win, or there is no game 3. And after that disastrous first inning, we settled in, and he settled in, and the team scored 12 runs, and he didn't let them score anymore. He pitched, I'm going to make sure I got my papers right, 11 innings in the playoffs, 0 earned runs in the playoffs. Okay, 18 strikeouts, 4 walks, 125 opponent's batting average, unheard of. He saved 2 games, and he won a game, pitched a complete game. And listen, you know who it is by now. His best days are ahead of him. I'm serious, as he keeps getting bigger and stronger, it won't surprise me in 3 years if this young man hears his name called in the draft on the mound. And this year's most valuable pitcher goes to Davis Williams. Davis, did you pose for your picture? You can pose at home. Get your picture. Yeah, I know it's a bit, when you go back and look, 2 saves in 1 day, number 2 team in the state. The guys were all fired up. We had them fired up, 21 wins. We had printed off pieces of paper with a 21 on it and all that. Then Micah had the team rip them up on the bus after the game, and all excited. But Davis, you saved both those games, man. And I mean, I'm talking like crazy stuff. I'm like win and run on second, can't give up a hit. They both games ended in a strikeout. Both games ended in a strikeout. Davis like, yeah, they did. Did the game at where ended in a strikeout? Do you remember? It did. How'd that end?
Like a slow roller to, I think, Harrison, they threw him out. Okay, very good. But a lot of fun. And Davis, hey, I'll always remember that. The Decatur games, but I'll remember, listen, yeah, Davis, we may need you to throw 1 inning or 7. Coach, I'll do it. And he knew, and we knew, we were kind of, you could throw 120 pitches in a series, okay? But once he got to 80 or 90, we kind of knew we're not going to bring him back the next day. We're not going to do that to him. It was like, Davis, you want to finish this thing? And there was no reason for me to ask him that. Like, you know the answer to that. Like, are you kidding me? Of course I'm finishing this thing. What'd you finish? 115, 116? You remember how many you threw in that game? 115? Had 5 to go. Very good. Last award of the night, our most valuable player is also a pitcher. No secret. This young man, just listen to these numbers for a minute. And unfortunately, I wish, kind of like it was like football. Football, you use the same quarterback all the time. Baseball, you can't pitch the same guy all the time. 70 innings. Listen to this. 117 strikeouts, 19 walks. 117. Okay, 19. Coach Williams is laughing because for their goal, that's unheard of. That's unheard of. He almost was plus 100 strikeouts to walk in high school baseball. Like, it's unheard of. Opponents hit 169 off of him. He started 12 games. He pitched 6 complete games. So half the time he went out there, he threw a complete game, which is some of these other pitchers are like, thanks, Micah. 9-2 record. And the only games we lost, we didn't give him any run support. We got shut out by good teams, and those are the only 2 games he lost. He was bursting on the scene during the COVID year. Kind of got the attention of some people down there at Hoover, pitching well in that tournament against Houston County. And his work ethic is second to none. He's very serious about his preparation, and because of all that is why he can put up numbers like this. And this year's team MVP is Micah Earwood.
Take it out.
All right, that's it. Now, thank you guys for coming out.